Hey everyone, Overdetermined here with another invasion build. This one's at rune level 31, sort of a Cleanrot Knight cosplay. Here I am fighting the Cleanrot Knight themselves. I made this build before the DLC came out and really had some fun with it, and just recently returned to it and recorded some of those invasions that you'll see here momentarily. I really like the this level range, because you get some people who also have cute builds, you get some people who don't really know what they're doing, who are pretty obviously getting carried through by their phantoms. And it's nice to teach them a little bit about how the game works. I'm using the Scythe and the Spear, primarily using the Scythe because the reach on it is very good, unless you're going up against a guy with these weapons. The downscaling at this level, as you can kind of see, this phantom pretty clearly I think isn't in the 30 range, right? If I'm 31, the max I can reasonably invade is 46, I want to say. And I guess it's plausible that this dude is 46. But the downscaling, however it's, you know, logarithmically done or whatever, just means that you can really feel it at this level. Especially you can see the crab on my hotbar, especially once you hit that. These fights just become slugfests. You tend to get a lot of people who, I mean, I guess this is relevant at all invasion levels, but you get a lot of people who won't engage with the level and will only sort of engage with you. Like this dude who's given up, question mark, dealing with people in real life. You know, you can never really tell. The spear on this build, which will come out later, is ostensibly for rundowns. Here we are. But the Scythe itself has a pretty good roll catch on its R1. In fact, a really good roll catch on its R1. Some of these hosts you have to respect. A lot of these hosts, once they get in this position, just run, panic roll away. And this dude has a bit of that instinct, but at least he's standing his ground, which makes for a better video and makes for a better invasion, makes for a more fun time here. This build is not at all efficient, even a little bit. Oh right, I've got the you farmed this from the Cleanrot Knights. I don't remember what it's called right off the top of my head. I don't think I use it in any of the other invasions that are in this video. But I don't like two-handed. But if it's in your offhand, it comes out very quick. And you catch a lot of people off guard, so if you know they got 60 HP left or whatever, it's very easy to use. Something else easy to use is Sacred Phalanx, that Ash of War. Even, you know, you can sort of get a sense of who's played the game before and who's playing it for the first time. The people playing it for the first time rarely know what to do against that thing. Meaning that they don't see it coming, they don't even know what it does. And even the people who obviously have some experience don't see it coming either. And we've taught this lad a lesson about, you know, using shields and when not to use shields and when to use shields, and maybe don't just keep it up the entire time because your stamina will break and that will happen to you. I always wonder when I get invasions further in the game, like this Karya Manor invasion. 45, or what did I say? 46? 46 is a bit low for here. Especially when it seems like you're getting carried, meaning it's your first time through the game. So, like, are you rushing to? brings a whole new meaning to the phrase "getting carried." Does it? And pushing your friend off a ledge? I don't know. Slash hiding around a wall, super obviously. Yeah, you can see once you murder their friend, or once you let them murder their friend for you, these types of players tend to pick up pretty easily. And this person has leveled vigor 0%. So, I mean, you know, they probably invested all in int or dex and got this far. So, I mean, kudos to them, I guess. And you can see that River's L2, the Corpse Piler, did very little to my health compared to what you might expect at like 150 or something. You do see a lot of Rivers. I've seen a lot more Rivers at this level range than I actually have in like the 150, 160 range, which is interesting. A lot of people who I think just write down like best or just Google like best Elden Ring weapon, and then you know, tell their friend like, oh, I've got the best weapon in the game. I can help you through anything. I'll beat this guy. Stand back. And then this Misbegotten bites him to death. Anyways, the L2 on this thing, besides looking cool, my intent on it that I can't really seem to make work is you press the L2 button, they start to panic. And then while they're panicking, you get to go after them as you see fit. So like a running R1 with a Scythe as they're panicking from the L2. You never know. You can never tell. You can never tell if that's intentional or not in that situation. Anyways, yeah. Speak of over-leveled Phantom here. We got this dude with the Divine Beast hat, and I think that's Mesmer Spear. And from memory, this guy knows how to press one button, and that's sort of it. And I think he's sort of relying on the fact that, I mean, I guess maybe some invaders aren't familiar with that L2. I don't know. I feel like most people who are invading kind of are. But they're obviously trying to go for the boss, get around me. We can't let that happen. Using verticality to my advantage there a little bit. Again, I know your tricks. I know what's happening. And you can tell, again, this dude's pretty high level. And yeah, I'm still doing pretty good damage to him, so. And so was this page. And he's dead. And he gave us 350. Hold on, 1 second. I just did the math. That was a max level Phantom. That was a man who had completely maxed out and died to a I think died to me or a page. I can't quite remember now. But man, that feels good, huh? It feels good when you at level 31 get to absolutely shred a guy. One thing you'll note, the Scythe has bleed on it technically, but I don't think I ever bleed anyone out. And if I do, I'm not expecting it, so I get the like glitch where it hits on my screen but not on theirs. So the animation for the bleeding out triggers, but they don't actually lose the health. I think that happens like twice. And then a lot of invasions are like this, where they got one move and it's working for them, like this mace guy, who, you know, jump attack, jump attack, jump attack, jump attack. Is he gonna do it again? Yep, you heard it just behind me. So I'm utilizing the tried and true tested invader tactic of running away. Like I said, this build not super optimized. I don't even have like a cannon on it, or the cannon of Hyma, or anything to engage at long distance. All I have is the Ring of Light. So occasionally, like in that situation, once I had fallen down, I couldn't really do anything at all. Period. Just wait for them to come back out. A lot of invasions at this level are sort of this like slog fest. Just a lot of hitting, a lot of back and forth. Because at this range, it's a bit hard to go for a backstab. Like you can try. and I think I get a couple, but especially with these uber aggressive players. I don't know how they've learned to be so aggressive, but good on them for doing it, because it's really the pressure is really going well for them. But this dude's at low health, so out comes the spear to try and run him down. And I only left this invasion in this video for this moment alone. Yeah, you can. I thought he would come towards me, and he didn't. But he's at like 5% health, hiding in the back. Can't really do anything. So he slow walks out. really goes for it. Really tries to have his like badass moment there. But the host unfortunately just like starts running, goes right for that boss. Presumably dies 5 seconds later. So kind of a anticlimactic end to that invasion there, but that moment was, I think, fun enough to leave it in. Occasionally you get like taunter stung people who are clearly have played through the game a couple of times. Especially for you to get the taunter stung before Stormveil, you gotta bait that dude in the round table hold, who's not easy at this level. You have to sort of know what you're doing. So I can expect that this dude, unless he like just had a phantom that he let go, I can expect that he knows what he's doing. And he's got a big club, and he's, you know, doing all right. But a lot of times at like 110, 120, 150, really most level ranges besides this, I can reasonably expect that if I see someone out by themselves, then there's a phantom lurking in the bushes nearby. Yeah, and there's that L1, that offhand that just comes out so fast that can demolish someone at low health. But at this level range, you sort of, I've grown to expect the taunter-stoned duelists who are just looking for a fun fight, and I can respect that. I get that not every red man that's their cup of tea, but I do sort of like it. This invasion isn't here because this just fully reminds me of that one meme, the nerd katana meme, if you know what I mean, where this dude has 2 katanas, and there's one one button on the controller, L1, and just sort of that's it. Yeah, there's that roll catch on the either R1 or the R2. But it means that you don't, the spear I just bring out to switch it up. I find that switching your weapon types once you've been going for a while can really, I don't know, confuse somebody. This invasion is the kind, another kind that you learn to expect at this level range, where you're not doing a ton of damage, and you've got a really passive player here, and then he brings in the blue with the lightning grease, or whatever you want to call it, in Malenia. So I do what I do best. I know I'm gonna go find some enemies to distract them so that I can try and take a one-on-one. This invasion ends up being, I think, like 20-25 minutes long of just a slogfest. I mean, look, I don't have any respect for blues. No one self-respecting does. But that is kind of a cool build. You can't really see in the clips, I don't think, but he's like colored his face completely black, so it looks like that's just a animated suit of armor from the, and I think that's just it says his name is Vagabond Armor. I think that's just the starting set. So, I mean, with the weapon, of course. So that is a sort of a cool build idea, I think. But unfortunately, he is a blue, so fuck him, you know. He's the worst, everyone hates him. I mean, you know, play the game how you want to play it, have fun how you want to play it. I'm not gonna, well, I am gonna call you names and make fun of you, but, you know, live your truth. And I get how this type of invasion may not be everyone's cup of tea. And here I've been fighting this dude for a bit, so I'm expecting the host to be right behind me. But this like long drawn out invasion where blues come in, you know, whatever else. The blues demolish the environmental enemies. Oh, hey, there's a bleed out. I didn't think I got any at all. And there's another blue in the starting katana set who's panic rolling against the Valdemark, so I can kind of expect that that's a free heal. And I probably could have finished him off with the Fang Daggers. I just got nervous because I wasn't sure where the host was, and I knew that blue was right there. The Vagabond armor dude was right there. Something else about this Scythe is that occasionally, depending on your connection, depending on, I don't know, a couple of things, the R1 into R1 true combos, which is nice. And that really begins to freak people out. Yeah, and again, against this dude who's panic rolling. Would be a 2-second invasion if he was the host, but he's got 2 friends, so 1 down, 2 to go. I can hopefully no other blues spawn in at this point. But at this point, I lead them to the sleepy crab, who's right behind me at this point. I think there's only one of them in the game, but maybe there's a couple. But we're underneath the lead up to Raya Lucaria, and I see the host about to dive behind me and get nervous because I would feel cheated if the crab took my kill from me there. But at least I'm not in a 1v2, which is sort of my goal the entire time. And here I've got a red, so I can be confident that there's not another blue coming in, who's content to just watch me fight. So you know, it could be worse. It could be a traitor red, so I'm not too mad about it. And this blue's out of flask, it seems. So I'm about to be murdered by this giant crab. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, I can go for the Fang Daggers. Almost get him. And that was, I think, pretty well played by him. Unfortunately, he does have 2 health left. So. Literally 2 health left. So now I'm wondering, like, is this already going to steal the kill from me? And I think he doesn't. I think he just is fine to watch with his little torch. And you can see me like unlock there, nervous that this red was about to turn traitor behind me. So I'm cutting here because the host keeps running away and playing super passively, which isn't the most engaging, I suppose. But you know, once I get to there and I see how much damage I'm doing and I see how much damage he's doing, I'm 100% happy to start just making these strays. I'll win those every single time. I think I even have a flask or 2 ready, and he does as well apparently. Anyways, I think I started to say this earlier, but this build is extremely unoptimized. And by that I mean I haven't gotten all the golden seeds. I don't have like max flasks on the invader build. Or like on the invader number of flasks, which again, super, like I should just go do that, but I'm at rune level 31 with +1/+1 weapons, so that's just that can be a bit of a slog, killing those ulcerated tree spirits. Truly, I understand it for the love of the game here. I also need to, I'm using the the Arsenal Charm, whatever talisman that increases your weight limit. I'm just using the one that Nefelda gives you after you defeat Godric, which is like the most basic version of that. I need to go to that giant pot man and murder his champions and get the next level upgraded one. But that fight, those fights are really a slog at low levels, especially because of that run back. Anyways, this is what I mean. once you get to the rune level 30 area, these fights really become slogfests. If you're not, you know, if you're not like wielding rivers or maybe not rivers, but like a DLC weapon, like Bale's Tearing or something somehow that you've gotten at this low level. But it's fun for me, so. You get a lot of Stormveil invasions here, which is great. Stormveil's I think my favorite place to invade in the whole game. It's one of their best levels. It's really fun to do just PvE. So I'm gonna 3v1 here. One thing I see people online say is that if you see someone without clothes on, you better respect them, because they know what they're doing. And in my experience, invading, recognizing this is different for PvE, but invading, that tends to not be super true. So this dude, as you can see, he's got quick step on some and dual wielding great axes, but he doesn't have any resistances because he doesn't have armor on. So it's easy to. He doesn't have any health really. And that was a pro gamer move, using the smoke to use a fire. I was proud of that move. And then they both fall, and then lose sight of what they're trying to do, which is protect their host. Who goes down with like 2 swings? I don't know. Maybe that was a little harsh. They couldn't really do anything unless the host came back down with them. This is the final invasion, I remember, and it's a long one. You don't get very many of these types of invasions, especially at this rune level, where they've obviously muled or whatever some items in. They're both pretty low level, you can tell. So they've got Midra's Great Sword or whatever it's called, and then this person's using the Frenzy powder, perfume, whatever it's called. And I think in this invasion, I'm more scared of that Frenzy stuff than I really need to be. It doesn't do any damage, which I truly don't. I just get panicked by the Frenzy buildup and don't really notice that it truly is doing 0 damage. But just a couple of people role playing in Stormveil, and you just kind of can't get mad at that. They don't have anything overpowered. They're clearly going for like a Madness Maiden type of deal. You just sort of gotta respect that. But especially at this level, or at this part of the level, I guess I could try and go up an elevator, but that's risky if I get caught with them. And there are no enemies for me to go after, especially now that the Crucible Knight's dead. So I just can't really do anything, and they're applying a ton of pressure to me. So I think I'd like back off and Phantom Finger away a couple of times. And again, I am more panicked by this frenzy stuff than I need to be. You can see I just did like a third of her health with that one arm one, which is what she gets for wearing robes. And that's the old elevator trick. They don't teach you that in school anymore. But if they both go on an elevator, they're not gonna like coordinate. One of them's gonna come down, one of them's not, and then now you get the one-on-one, and that, you know, it's, among other things, it's easier to think, it's easier to consider. I try again. It doesn't work. But I got 1 flask left, so I can't. Surely they got a ton of flasks, a ton of their flasks left. So at this point I start going for the host. I try and go for the Phantom first, just for fun. But like I absolutely could have gone out, finished off the host right there. But the Phantom also is almost dead, and there she goes. I do really like those perfumes. They're just cool. I don't think they're good. I think I need to make a build using them and see how they can work. Like I said, not good, clearly, but you know, who cares? They seem fun. They seem cool. They seem stylish, and that's what's really important. So I think at this point the host realizes that they're not gonna win by making trades as they're trying to do, because it only takes like 3 R1s and then they're dead. So then, you know, what was I, born yesterday? Absolutely not. You can't. I pulled that trick on you. You can't pull that trick on me. I am out of flasks though, which I'm sure if she's counting, she would think that I have one left, presumably, because she would presume I had max golden seeds. So she starts going for you know, she's hanging out by the cliffside. I know that she has force or that whatever spell that is. So I'm not, you know, I wasn't born yesterday. She's trying to lure me back there. You know, you can't fool me. I see what you're doing. You can't fool me. Was I born yesterday? Absolutely. I was. Thanks for watching.